Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Punaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadidamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Do you ever feel as if your feelings are taking you down into a spiral, a negative spin that you feel like you can't get out of? Today's episode is about becoming the witness to your feelings and learning how those feelings give you keys to what still needs to be healed. Namaste and welcome to the Spiritual Wealth Podcast. I'm your host, Alexandra Savitri Amba, director of the American Reiki Academy, Los Angeles' oldest Reiki school, and the Vedic Healing Center. I'm a Reiki master, Vedic Healing master, clairaudient channel, and healer who has practiced and taught spiritual self-development and healing for more than 35 years, led pilgrimages to India, and studied with blessed Indian gurus. In this show, we cover topics related to metaphysics, Reiki, Vedic healing, sacred sound, meditation, spiritual growth, manifestation, and feng shui based upon my studies and work. The aim of this show is to help you awaken, develop, and tap into your spiritual power so you may live well, manifest your dreams, and ultimately fulfill your unique divine destiny by working from the inside out. It all begins with energy. Welcome to today's episode, which is an episode about your feelings and specifically about the ability to become a witness. Now, I want to explain the process about dealing with feelings. I'm going to give it to you in words, just brief words, one word at a time. Feel, witness, watch, observe, learn. So I wrote these words down because I started thinking about how sometimes our feelings take us into a negative spiral, and it's so easy to feel as if, this is funny phrase, feel as if we are our feelings, to start believing we are our feelings. And when we do this, we start to create a sort of negative pattern. So whatever we're feeling, we use that as a barometer for beliefs in ourselves, for decisions that we make, for considerations. In other words, we let our feelings guide us, but there's something beyond the feelings, which is your intuitive sense. It's really different from your feelings. And one of the things I'd like to bring your attention to is the idea of feeling your feelings, but remaining outside of them. And so this is where you step into a higher way of dealing with these feelings. Now, the feelings are useful. They are indeed on some level, and I just used this word a couple seconds ago, they are a barometer, but not a barometer for major beliefs that you're now going to form. In other words, you have a negative feeling, and therefore you're going to say, oh, therefore I believe I'm really not capable of attracting true love. I feel very sad. I feel depressed, and therefore this belief I have. We equate them with beliefs, but actually, as a spiritual practitioner, we start to become the witness to everything that's occurring, even the beliefs that are being formed. We're not linking them all up and saying, I have this feeling, or I have this belief, and therefore this is true about me. Instead, we're just kind of watching everything. I want to suggest that you are both the player and the audience. So you're sitting in the audience and you're watching you, the player, the actor, but you're also the actor watching the audience. And this is what happens when we do our spiritual practice. We start to become outside of everything that is going on, and we begin to observe everything from a higher vantage point. It's not that we negate or brush feelings under the rug. We just observe. We say, aha, I am feeling this way, and therefore this is giving me a clue as to something I need to heal, something I need to address, something I need to clear. This feeling does not mean I get to allow the feeling to drag me down. Instead, I can use the feeling as a signal for something that may need to be healed, may need to be processed. Sometimes the healing for that feeling is simply to feel it and let it wash through your system. But sometimes there's a feeling that's very persistent, and it's maybe something that needs to be addressed, to move it along, to transmute it into something different. So especially with negative feelings, we do this. With positive feelings, we like to identify with them. But negative feelings, we don't like to identify with. And I'm suggesting here that you become the witness to everything, to the positive and the negative. In other words, you're kind of standing outside of the experience. You're watching, observing. Again, you're the actor and you're the audience. You're simply watching the whole drama unfold. You're watching you as an actor and what you're choosing to do. And you're also watching the reaction to what you're doing. That's where you're being the audience. So you're saying to yourself, oh, if I do this, then I see these repercussions may happen. And remember, I've said this before in a few episodes, that there are an infinite number of possibilities that can occur. So the audience, when you're being the audience, you're not also knowing everything that can occur. You're imagining, oh, okay, so if I do this, then these kind of things will happen over here. But there's a surprise. There's another actor entering the stage that you didn't expect. All of a sudden, there's another actor in the drama. And so the universe has shifted things. And that's why, think about when you go to watch a play. It's so interesting because you're watching the characters on stage, the actors portray characters, and then you're also anticipating what might happen, but there are always elements of surprise. So in your own life, there are elements of great surprise. And when you can be both the actor and the audience, you start to see things from a higher vantage point. And that's the vantage point of calmness. That's the space we get to by doing our practice. So it's not that we become outside of our feelings or above our feelings or disconnected, let's say, disconnected from them. Because I think I said in the beginning, I'm not sure if I said this, but can you feel your feelings but remain outside of them? But maybe what I meant was become not exactly outside of them, but observant of them, just observant, because certainly you're still feeling them. So it's very hard to say, now get outside of those feelings. You'll say, what? I feel this tremendous amount of sadness. How can I get outside of this? We don't want to disconnect from feelings, but we want to observe them and then process them. And this is where really great healing work occurs. It's something that I do one-on-one with people in the soul pattern clearing, where we address certain feelings that are coming up that might be guiding your life, that might be actually directing decisions that you are making, directing occurrences in your life. You don't even know that you're being motivated by these feelings sometimes. So we want to be motivated by a higher wisdom. If we're motivated by every single feeling that we feel, it would be a little chaotic to live. That's why when we're younger, we learn, our parents teach us how to have control over our emotions. But I'm going to suggest that as a spiritual practitioner who is doing her sadhana, it's not that you're going to control your emotions. You're going to be observant of them. Observant. I don't want to suggest that you disconnect from your emotional body. I think sometimes the world is tremendously disconnected from emotions. Not the world, but the people in the world. Because we learn how to armor ourselves. And so we disconnect from kindness and love and everything, sadness. We learn how to steel ourselves. So I'm never suggesting that you disconnect from your feelings, but rather that you start to observe them and say, oh, this is interesting. This is what is coming up for me. Many times in healing work, we use that phrase, this is coming up for me. This is something I'm becoming aware of. And so we look at it, and what I wrote down, I'm going to say it again. Feel, witness, watch, observe, learn, and I may add to that, clear, because often we want to clear whatever upset is occurring. Now, I remember once I had a death in my life, and I said to my teacher, I'm feeling such sadness over this, and I just want to do some work on myself to basically to get rid of the sadness, because it never feels good. And she said to me, oh, but that sadness is appropriate. It would be almost strange if you did not feel it. So I'm not saying go through life and choose to always remain happy. I'm saying to find the middle space, and that middle space is where we heal. That's where we observe, listen, clear what needs to be cleared so that we can maintain that even keel. And there will be, of course, times in life where we are challenged, also where we experience extreme highs, and those are really great. But to know that those extreme highs are as interesting as the extreme lows. We don't really want to be on a roller coaster where it's an extreme high and then extreme low and an extreme high and extreme low. We want to find the middle space. And the middle space, I would suggest, is where healing occurs, where we have noticed that we are really attaining a certain degree of steadiness, balance. Yes, we experience happiness. Yes, we experience sadness, but we return to center. All of this is about returning to center. So when we do yoga asanas, we talk about balance. We talk about flexibility and strength, but we talk about balance because that balance is the middle space, the evenness that occurs. When we meditate a lot, we're deriving that same sense, that same presence through a different vehicle than yoga asanas. The asanas are part of the practice. They actually prepare us for the deeper states of sadhana, which is found in meditation. And today, the soft challenge is to become the witness to all that is occurring around you, even your own feelings. Just witness them instead of allowing your feelings to lead you. See, just as we do not allow our thoughts to lead us, we also do not allow our feelings to lead us. They are all signals to us, but we ourselves are the witness to everything that is occurring. If this sounds too out there or esoteric or a little strange, here's an exercise you can do. Today, during the day, when something comes up to challenge you, notice. Remember, I said at the beginning, witness, feel, witness, watch, observe, learn. So witness what's going on. If you like, you can take a deep breath. The breath is always going to return you to center. While you may not be able to roll out your yoga mat in the middle of the grocery store and start doing your asanas, you can breathe. You can close your eyes and breathe no matter where you find yourself. Sometimes I see people sitting in their cars in the parking lots of stores, and I think these cars have become little sanctuaries, little oases in the midst of all the activity. And I think, because I see people sitting by themselves, and I myself do it also, and I think, oh, we're getting back to center in our cars. So we're sitting in our cars, just regaining a little bit of balance in the middle of the day. So while you may not be standing on your head in the car or doing Surya Namaskar in the car, sun salutation, you might be sitting there, closing your eyes, breathing, noticing how your day is going, just not getting attached to anything, the good or the bad, and just saying, here I am again on planet Earth. Let me just be in this moment, because the being in the moment, by returning to breath and returning your awareness to present time, is where you will derive peace. And then you'll carry that peace out into the world. So when you leave your car and you shut the door and you go into the chaos of the supermarket and the noise and the traffic in the parking lot, and maybe the music they're playing is rather loud, or people are bumping into you with shopping carts. When you go there, you will be walking in a little Zen space of tranquility. So no matter what happens in there, you maintain your center. And this is the incredible value of doing a daily spiritual practice, which is what I teach people. And it's a comprehensive practice, and it includes many beautiful techniques I learned in India. And it's something that is available to anyone. It will fortify you, strengthen you, support you, heal you. It will give you everything. So today, be the witness to everything that's occurring in your life. When you feel something negative come up, just say, I'm watching this. I'm in the audience, and I'm watching what's happening with me. And I'm also me watching what's happening with me. And I'm also able to make a different choice in this moment, so that whatever is coming up that I don't like, I don't have to let rule me. It's a very interesting shift when this starts to occur. We often talk about being guided by negative thoughts or plagued by negative thoughts, but your feelings also are potentially there, guiding you in directions you may not want to go. So as a practitioner, we work on achieving mastery over our thoughts and our feelings. Some of your feelings can be from deep, deep, deep experiences from this lifetime or from other lifetimes. And so something happens in present time, and you react in a very dramatic way. And you even, I don't know if you've had this experience, you even surprise yourself and you think, oh, where did that come from? I mean, that was just a small occurrence, seemingly, and I really kind of flipped out. So from where do these strong feelings come, and then how are they directing how we act? We start to really become cognizant of what needs to be healed. what needs to be cleared from our being. And again, not all feelings need to be cleared out and done away with. Like the example I gave you when something very sad happens in your life and you experience grief, that is appropriate. But when the feelings start to, I said at the beginning, start to overwhelm you or take you down into a negative space, we say, this is probably something that needs healing. So today, as a soft challenge, again, if you find yourself being dragged down by feelings you are having, just pause for a moment, put your attention back on your breath. And as I said, you can do this in the car when your car is stopped, and just do some breathing again. Conscious breathing. I mean, obviously, you're always breathing, but conscious breathing. And this means deep diaphragmatic breathing, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just bringing your awareness back to center. This simple act of breathing will help move the feelings along. It's a healing process. It will help heal these feelings that seem to be taking over your system. Nothing should take over your system. You are in control of your system. So that means your feelings and your thoughts do not get to control your being. Actions outside of you do not get to control your being. Other people doing things in your life do not get to control your being. You yourself are in charge. And we harness that level of being in charge by connecting with source energy. Sometimes when I say this, people think, oh, source energy, that means something outside of ourselves. But we, God, divine wisdom, infinite presence, whatever we call it. But we start to learn that we are part and parcel of that substance, that energy. Everything is energy. I say in the beginning here that we work from the inside out, and it all starts with energy. So you're connecting with a light inside of you that is part and parcel of this divine creative energy that has made all of the universe, the universes, the planets, everything that we see around us, everything seen and unseen. We are part and parcel of this. There's this beautiful quotation by Ralph Waldo Emerson that I have had for years on my wall here and on my website, and it goes like this: the currents of the universal being circulate through me. I am part or particle of God. So the currents of the universal being, the currents in all their complexity, all the many ramifications of source energy are circulating through us at all times. I am part or particle of God. So I am divine. I am part of this wisdom. And so that quotation, it's not that one piece of the universal being is circulating through me. It's the currents, plural. That means everything. the good, the bad, just everything. And there is no good or bad. It's just everything is circulating through us at all times. So what we're attempting to do in healing work is to not become attached to any of this and just allow the flow to occur and soothe the areas that seem to be dragging us down. We're not getting attached to one feeling and saying, I'm going to just have this one feeling circulating through me. Everything is moving through you at all times. So can you today take note of the negative? I'm going to use the word negative here, although I feel there is no really positive or negative. It just is. But the feelings that we attach that negativity to, we say, I don't like the way this feels in my system. Can you notice those feelings and then move them through your being, because we want them circulating, not staying stuck. And can you use your breath to create some movement? Very simple, just deep breath in, deep breath out, a few times until you feel those feelings that are unwanted moving. You feel them circulating again. You don't feel any more oppressed by them. You feel, okay, something's going to move here. Something's going to release. That's it. Just for today, use your breath to move the feelings along and start to take note how those feelings can sometimes be dragging you into a place you don't want to go. Stop and course correct through the breath, just the breath, no matter where you are. If you're sitting still, you can close your eyes and do this. And if you are driving, then I would suggest that you would pull over and work with your breath. It only takes a few moments. So see what comes up for you today. Notice that you might be identifying too much with your feelings, and be the witness to them, watch them, observe them, and then start to move them through your system. That's where the healing occurs. And then just notice what peace ensues after you've worked a little bit with your breath. And notice how the feelings seem afterwards. Perhaps there has been a shift. Hopefully there has been a shift. Probably there has been a smoothing out. And without a doubt, this exercise has begun the process of healing, of giving you the awareness that you have the ability to heal whatever is going on in your own system. Healing is multifaceted, multi-layered, and full of possibility. If you'd like help on your path, feel free to reach out. Om Masato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Om Sai Ram. Jai Guruji. Om Amriteshwari Namaha. Hare Krishna. Om Namah Shivaya.